Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I'm Barry Malkin. I'm the CEO of Carnegie Learning. Carnegie Learning is focused on one thing and one thing only, and that's mathematics instruction. We've been around for a long time, but we've entered a new chapter in our evolution. We're a company that's been around for 20 years and was founded by Carnegie Mellon University, and we've begun to transform the conversation around math learning and how we as a company can facilitate that transformation. We call that movement Long Live Math, and I'm going to tell you more about it in a few minutes. So usually in a presentation like this, next slide please. Next slide please. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Oh, I apologize. That's why. All right, so usually at the in a presentation like this, we have a vendor put up a slide like this, which shows a traditional classroom. And it shows students sitting in rows and teacher teaching at the front of the classroom. Students are relatively disengaged is the message from this slide. And the teacher is just simply conveying knowledge. And it's been this way for a long time, and we all know that it hasn't really made a meaningful difference in education. So invariably, the vendor then talks about their revolution, their software revolution, how they've created a product that's going to revolutionize the market. And it usually includes an impressive barrage of K-12 buzzwords like adaptive learning and personalized education, one-on-one instruction, flipped classroom, cognitive science, all of the buzzwords. But here's the thing. None of the software in the market has yet really revolutionized learning in any meaningful way. Many of the edtech startups have failed to deliver or disappeared, and many of the established large publishers have not really delivered on the promise of meaningfully moving the needle, despite their resources and their scale. So I'm here to talk a little bit about the elephant in the room. And if we want a revolution, we have to really focus on what works. And what we know the research tells us that works is focusing on real conceptual understanding of mathematics. If we want to really address the deficiencies in math, we have to start teaching students how to think differently, how to think creatively, how to communicate math, and how to creatively problem solve. That's what we do at Carnegie Learning. So we believe that math learning needs to be better. It just can't be about performing well on math tests. So we focus on helping students really understand the math. Excuse me. We help them understand not only what they got wrong, but why they got it wrong, which is very important. We also focus on helping teachers step away from the front of the classroom to help facilitate real classroom discussion and dialogue and really engage students on a different level. So we're optimistic. It's why we've launched a whole new movement, what we call Long Live Math, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that as well. So, excuse me, sorry. So at Carnegie Learning, we have three main product lines. We have consumable textbooks, which are used for core instruction. We have adaptive learning technology, and we also have professional development services that we offer both to support our products as well as just support math teaching generally. But it starts with our people, and our staff includes a team of cognitive scientists who work on the content that we embed in our AI platform, instructional designers who work on our ebooks and consumable textbooks, researchers who are focused on the science of learning and understanding what's new in learning science and what's new in learning science and how it can affect our products, and also software developers who are constantly trying to improve the efficacy of our products and make them easier to use and easier to implement, and of course less expensive for our customers. So at the end of the day, we've created what we believe are the best textbooks on the market that facilitate group instruction and the best adaptive learning software on the market that really mirrors what a human coach can do. So let's talk a little bit about our software and what differentiates us from the rest of the crowd. Most of the software that's called adaptive learning on the market really does one thing very simply and easily, which is they look at a problem-based, they look at a problem and they decide which way a student should go, whether or not they should go this path or this path, depending on whether or not they got it right or wrong. We do something entirely different. What we do is we break down each problem into multi-steps. That's the first thing. The second thing is that we actually build out our content to focus on the sub-skills or the micro-competencies within each problem. In any given problem, there are between 5 and 20 micro-competencies that we're measuring in the software. This is completely differentiated. It's very expensive to do, it takes a lot of time to do, and we've been doing it for a long time. What this means is that when a student gets a new problem, not only are they getting a problem based on what they may have answered right or wrong in the past, they're also getting a problem that helps remediate that specific sub-skill, which again is highly differentiated. In addition to that, we also offer contextualized hints. which allow the student to get hints specifically on the problem they're working on, specifically on the answer that they received, and specifically on the skill that we're trying to remediate. In addition to this, all of this data is something we're beginning to leverage in really new and meaningful ways. The data that we have, all the clickstream data that we have, is quite impressive, and I think you'll hear us doing much more with the data in the coming months and years ahead. Lastly, I'd like to talk a little bit about our reports. Our reports have come a long way in the past year. This is our applause reports. And our applause reports is more than just a simple explanation of what a student has gotten right or wrong, or how many hints they received, or how much time they've spent in the software. These reports are actually predictive analytical reports. So we have built algorithms that can predict with a high degree of confidence how the student will do at the end of the year on our software. But in addition to that, we've also created alignment to other state tests and national tests that can predict how a student will do at the end of the year on, say, the ACT or the PERT test in Florida. We're able to do this because we're monitoring all of those sub-skills, and because math is really about unit dependency and spiraling, we want to understand exactly what skills are deficient early on in a student's performance and really understand where they might be months or months and months later, and we can do that with our software. So our applause report is the latest innovation from Carnegie Learning, and we're going to be doing a lot more with the analytics soon. So again, we think the transformation that can happen in the classroom, it has to happen with software, with professional development, and with textbooks. There is no silver bullet for anything in math education, and we think that we have all the tools to help students and school districts totally transform the math education. Thank you.